just doing dinner at the same time.
It's all right.
But I've got like 15 to 20K steps nearly every day.
Amazing. Well done, you. Good. Right, one more minute, guys. Sorry, I don't want to keep you all waiting in silence. I'll wait till 4 minutes past. Anyone else got any wins? Okay, I think let's just get started so we're not sat here waiting. Can I have a thumbs up if you can see my screen just before I start talking and you can't see anything? You can see. Okay, amazing. Let's jump straight into it then. So, we are here today to discuss Christmas and just generally how to navigate December. I know a lot of my clients have all said, oh, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to approach it. So, hopefully, the aim of today is that you come away feeling clear and confident on how you are going to navigate December. So, first things first. Specifically, what do you do for Christmas? This sounds very generic, but I was thinking everyone has very different traditions or things that they're doing for Christmas. For some people, it's literally just Christmas Day over and done with. For some people, they'll break up from work or school or whatever, and it will be like 3 weeks of Christmas. I know one of my clients she's going to Bali from the 15th and she's going on holiday for Christmas. So pop in the chat, what are your general traditions? Because this will make sense in a minute because I want you to be clear thinking about what you're doing so that when we apply the strategy, you have that fresh in the front of your head of what your December is going to look like. So some ideas in the chat of what you are doing for Christmas this year. Mine is I have my this is really funny, but I have my dog's birthday on the 22nd, is my mum's birthday on the 23rd, then it's obviously Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, Boxing Day, and for me, that's probably just Christmas, and then there's Christmas Eve, Christmas Day with the family, no particular meals before, several days of board games and food with the family, love that. Yeah, like everyone's is so different, and being clear on that is really going to help you for the next bits. So, strategy. So, there's going to be different ways that you are going to apply this to you and your family's Christmas. So, we're going to give you kind of not generic, but generic that everyone can apply it. And if you have any questions, make sure to drop them in the chat throughout, and we will be answering at the end. So just pop them in there throughout. But let's go into the strategy. So, step one is just basically knowing all of your options. So, presenting them on a plate so you knowing that you can apply those. So, diet wise, nutrition wise, we've got deficit, maintenance, surplus. So, as you would have known when we explained like TDEE, you can either be in a deficit, so you're eating less than you're burning and you're losing fat. You can eat the same, you'll be at maintenance and you'll maintain, or you can eat more than you're burning and you will be in a surplus and be in fat gaining, also muscle building territory. So, they are the first three options. So, we have your deficit. Again, we are mostly a fat loss service. So most of you are here for some sort of fat loss goal. Of course, some of you are like bulking or maintaining or whatever your goal may be. But if you are currently in a deficit, you may be wondering, how am I going to continue to be in a deficit throughout December? So one of your options is to continue pretty much as normal, continue to keep losing weight. The strategy for that would be making sure that you're planning ahead, tracking your food to stay in your deficit calories to make sure you're definitely here, continuing your step count, get your sessions in and around Christmas or when you're busy or not, and kind of just rinsing and repeating your normal routine, generally how you would around other social events the rest of the year. Then we also have maintenance. This slide is kind of biased at this, maybe for most people, the best strategy, putting yourself in the best position come January. And basically, what this would look like is using maintenance as a tool to remember you're consuming the same as you are burning. I would say kind of don't if you weigh yourself and it goes up a little bit, don't freak out like, oh my God, I've gained fat, even though I've definitely been like not eating like that much sort of thing, because it will fluctuate a little bit. If you think you're eating more carbs, probably a little bit more alcohol than normal. The scales may spike up a tiny, tiny bit. Within 1 to 2 kilos is perfectly fine at maintenance. But basically, with maintenance, we would say that come post-Christmas, January time, you would kind of have remained the same weight that you were pre-Christmas or very slightly up, so that you can kind of jump straight back into it post-Christmas and continue on your weight loss journey or whatever your goal is, versus having gained a lot over Christmas and then kind of bringing yourself back to where you were and taking a few steps back, if that makes sense. So maintenance would be the biased best way. The strategy for this, again, still be planning ahead. It's still not just like, oh, I'm just gonna not think about this. You're still planning ahead, being mindful of the calories that you are consuming. You can track if you wish, or you can track some meals so that you know what like wiggle room you have for other meals that you don't particularly want to track. For example, if you're going out. Oh, by the way, these are particularly for the festive days. So we will talk about the rest of December later, but I'm talking Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, Boxing Day for these methods. So again, tracking throughout December for sure, but like on Christmas Day, I'm personally going to say to my clients, I don't want to see you tracking your Christmas dinner. Like, I do want pictures because I'm a bit nosy and I'll see your Christmas dinner, but I don't care about how many calories are in your Christmas dinner sort of thing. But you can still plan roughly, like, to know that you're not eating thousands of calories on one day sort of thing. And then definitely make sure that we keep steps nice and high because that will kind of be your buffer. Because again, if you're consuming the same as you're burning, we still want to make sure that we're burning plenty of calories, but not in a you have to burn to work off your Christmas dinner kind of way. Definitely don't want to have that mindset towards food and Christmas and exercise. It's just, again, getting out on a Christmas walk, a Boxing Day walk, like making that part of your routine and still not just sat on the sofa eating chocolate all day, even though we would love to do that sort of thing. And then just, yeah, aiming to train where you can, but it's more so food is more flexible, but not quite surplus, which the next part would be, again, some of you may be in a surplus, that is your gaining phase, utilize those extra calories. But there may be those of you who are kind of like, I just want to not care. I want to go, not care, but I want to go a bit off track. I want to be like, it's Christmas. I don't want to think about calories, which is fair enough. But I just want you to understand the consequences almost of what that may mean, because again, you are in a calorie surplus, you will be gaining fat from that. So an uncontrolled surplus would kind of just be not having any focus or thought of the calories per se. And then like all your meals, all your drinks, they're off plan, they're flexible. It's kind of a bit like, fuck it, it's Christmas. I'm likely going to take a few steps back, i.e., gain weight that I'm going to then have to drop off again come January. So that's kind of just what that may look like. You can do it strategically. Again, utilize those extra calories, but again, if you are in a surplus, you will be gaining. I would say if you are opting to do this, just trying not to go overboard just for the sake of it. Still remain active, again, not to counteract that, but just understanding that if you are in surplus territory, you will be gaining fat in a surplus. Again, we want you to be empowered by the knowledge. This is not to say that if you choose to do that, that like that's a bad thing at all. You can't. It's just if you are in a surplus, we will be gaining fat. If you're in a deficit, you will be losing fat. If you are maintaining, you will maintain. So again, if you do X, you will get Y. If I want to eat and not think about the amount in there and accidentally eat 4,000 calories, I probably will step on the scales and have gained 3,000. I could make sure I'm definitely in a deficit and overly restrict my Christmas dinner and I will lose fat, but maybe I'm not going to be so happy about that. So again, it's all about choices and aligning your want with your will. Of course, we all want to continue losing fat, but in terms of being able to do that over Christmas is not, what's the word? Your will and your want, they need to be matched up almost, if that makes sense. I'm going to go through tips in a moment, so don't worry about that because you're probably thinking, well, how do I align my want with my will? I will go through like practical tips of how we can actually maintain things too. But basically, again, limiting those days to kind of 24th to 26th, where they are a bit more flexible and even around that kind of one plate rule with your meals. So, particularly like, again, this is where it's going to apply to you and what your days look like. For me, Boxing Day is more like buffet leftover food, and you could just get overboard with that, have loads and loads and loads, or you could be like, okay, no, one plate roll. Again, same with like any other party food throughout the rest of the year kind of thing. One plate roll. Okay, I'm gonna have some healthy things. I'm gonna have a little bit of like, I'm gonna have a little bit cake or whatever, but generally I'm not gonna go back for seconds, and I'm just gonna be intuitive with this, which again, eat intuitively, eat until you're full. Don't push past it for the sake of it, just because it's in front of you. You don't have to have it. You can still control, again, the food that's going into your mouth. 2 meals a day rather than three. Again, I was saying this to one of my clients the other day, but I think I actually eat less on Christmas Day because I literally am like, I'm gonna have something really tiny for Christmas, for breakfast because it's just Christmas and you're busy. I'm waiting for my big Christmas lunch, and then I might have like a dessert in the evening, but I would normally eat 4 meals a day, and I actually do eat less on Christmas. Like you probably find that even though those meals are bigger, limiting them and kind of fasting so much in the morning so that you've got more calories left for the rest of your day is a good tactic that you can utilize. Not buying an excess of treats that will still be there in January. So I'm talking, do we need 10 tubs of Pringles? No, we don't. Do we need Heroes, Celebrations, and Quality Streets and whatever else there is? Probably not. Like, but I know it's like tempting to be like, I'm going to get everything. But come January, if you've still got an excess of food, you're just going to be tempted to eat it. And then you're going to be like, oh, I need to get it. I need to get rid of it, sort of thing. And that's just going to go a little bit wrong. So don't buy it in the first place, or not buy it at all, but just don't buy an excess of it. Like when you're in the shop, is this actually going to get eaten or no, not really? And kind of just be mindful of that when you're making those purchases. Minimizing high fat foods. This is probably going to be a big one to be able to limit the amount of calories consumed because they add up really quick. So things like I love cheese. I'm such a cheese girl, but cheese, again, like a small bite of it, like having excess of cheese, creams, your Baileys, tequila rosé, Yule log with cream, like things like that, they add up really fast. So anything that's pretty like like wow, that's gonna be calorific, just treats it in moderation and be like, I don't need an excess of this kind of thing. They would generally help you to kind of keep to staying on track, staying mindful, but also being able to enjoy yourself and enjoy the Christmas food. So with all of that, and then again, considering what do you do for Christmas, these strategies, you will probably have a rough idea at the moment what choice is kind of going to be best for you, whether you're going to be like, I want to stick to my deficit, and that may mean having to give up certain things. I want to maintain and I want to kind of be middle ground. I want to enjoy it, but I don't want to take 10 steps backwards, or it's Christmas, I don't care. I want to take 10 steps back. I don't think anyone taking the time right now to sit and watch this is probably going to be like, yeah, I don't care, because you do care and you all have goals. So ultimately it is up to you. There's still more to go, by the way. Yeah, what's the best option for you considering the pros, the cons, and the consequences of what that may look like? Habits. So habits. Let's aim to still tick off our daily non-negotiables. Kind of like you wouldn't not brush your teeth on Christmas. So let's continue to do our normal habits as if they are just another part of your day to day. Again, most of you, like this is a lifestyle for you, like doing these things, hopefully you keep up a long time, like getting out for your steps, it's a non-negotiable to you. What other ones are there off the top of my head? Drinking your water, staying hydrated. We can still stay hydrated even with a glass of bubbles, like staying hydrated. Weighing in, again, we do tend to find that with weighing, it's kind of like you avoid weighing because you're scared of what it's going to say, but actually it can keep you like, oh, I've eaten all of this food and I haven't gained a thing. Wow, this is cool. And also just like Janet, again, it's a normal habit. It will keep you kind of focused. So we are going to say keep on weighing, keep on doing all of the normal habits. Any habit that you kind of have on your app, still aim to tick those off because they shouldn't be so much that you won't be able to do them on like Christmas Eve, Christmas Day sort of thing anyway. Um, Drinks, which is I think most people are speaking to what they are most concerned about, I'd say. Um, Liquid calories do add up. Like we kind of think food, 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 but you forget about the drink side of things. So this is not even just alcoholic drinks. I'm talking stocking up on J2Os and is it Schler? I don't know how to say it, Schler. Like the full fat lemonades, full fat Cokes, so like the can of Cokes kind of thing, they add up quickly. So stocking up on like your slimline gin and tonic, the cans of like Diet Pepsi Max, having like those in so that you're saving calories on your drinks. There's going to be loads of like ones that are like 0 calorie versions or low sugar versions sort of thing. So stocking up on those. Again, when it comes to alcoholic drinks, again, your slimline, G&T, Prosecco, again, Prosecco, like a glass is about 80 calories. It's very Christmassy. Stock up on that versus like your beers. Um, Bailey's tequila rosé. I know they're very Christmassy, but they add up real, real quick. So just remember that they add up fast. Um, Training. So really want to caveat with this that do not do excess cardio to make up for it, for all the food that you've ate. We do not want to treat training as punishment. We want you to view training as something that you love and that it's like, oh, I'm going to miss that if I don't do that. And also, like, if you say that you normally go to the gym on a Thursday, but that's Christmas and you can't go, don't be like, oh my God, I've missed a session or like stress about that. Like, it's absolutely fine. You can just schedule it around those days. Like, again, I probably will go to the gym maybe the weekend for, maybe the Monday, maybe like the Sunday, Monday after. And I don't care about missing a few days. Like I'll still fit them in and around it. Just don't be like, oh, I need to go to gym and work this pigs in blanket off sort of thing. Just do it because you enjoy it and you want to and you want to keep up that routine. And don't stress if you do miss a couple sessions. Um, this kind of should have been earlier actually, but yeah, kind of just generally managing expectations of kind of what to expect with that, being armed with the knowledge and the tips that may help you as well. Managing your festive season without going backwards. I think that's the biggest aim. Do not diminish almost that maintenance is a win. If you can get through Christmas and have not gained or not lost at all, like that is a win. That is a win to like, it's not, don't think of it as like pausing or not taking any steps forward because I think that's where it feels like, oh, is that it? But it's successful if you are able to maintain and just be like, okay, I'm going to pause. I don't want to use the word pause. I just can't think of a better word. I'm just going to enjoy my Christmas. Then I'm going to jump straight back into it, and I don't need to bat an eyelid because again, it's that balance of I'm enjoying Christmas, but I've still got this goal that I'm really focused on, and I can jump straight back into it from January and not feel guilty at all about my Christmas. That is the aim that we want you to feel coming away from this. Rest of December, again, you're probably like, we haven't discussed this yet. Think of it as the same. It's a normal month. If you had a dinner out this month in November or October or July, it still applies. Like again, there are other times of year, the summer is so bloody busy and there's so many different events. It's exactly how you would use the tactics of like calorie banking, intermittent fasting in the mornings, planning ahead, looking at the menus, going for the best choices, sort of thing. How you would approach any other social event the rest of the year is what you're going to do for your things like your Christmas dues, like girls' nights, things like that. Like approach them exactly how you would if it was someone else's birthday event, or yes, we're going out for dinner for this or whatever in April. It will be the exact same the way that you approach it. We are kind of not, I don't use the word limit, but festive days are Christmas Eve, Christmas, Boxing Day, and probably what's it called? New Year's Eve are your days where it's a little bit more, they're festive. They're the days. The rest of the days are just normal days where you may be more busy than normal, if that makes sense. So yeah, use the same tactics as you would and plan ahead with your coach. I think all the coaches are, please correct me if I'm wrong, other coaches, but I think we're going to send out to all of you a list of like 1 to 31, and you're going to mark off the days that are like, right, this day I have got a plan, but I'd like to stay on track. I'd like to still try and plan ahead and stay with my deficit. Or this day I've got my Christmas due and I kind of just, I do want to not track that day or whatever. I want to enjoy it and not think about it. We're going to mark off the days so that we can all plan ahead with that and what that may look like. Because then some of you may be busier than others. And again, that's why we need to have that strategy that is personalized to you and what your Christmas will look like. So at the end of this, message your coach with what you'd like your strategy to look like and what your December is going to look like. And we can kind of all be on the same page of what we are working towards with that. So summary, plan ahead. Plan ahead, just again, don't stress about it. You need to enjoy it, most important point, but just be organized again, be confident with what you've set yourself, your strategy to be. Um, Again, managing expectations, I think that's the most important thing of just like understanding that X approach will equal Y, having the strategy in place, and most importantly, enjoying it and having the best Christmas. Q&A time. Does anybody have any questions? Put them in the chat now. I'm going to have a look if any of you have put any fruit out. No, okay. Anyone got any questions? Pop them in the chat, which should be at the bottom if you don't know how to find it. Any questions at all? Have I missed anything? I might have. Yes, okay. It might just be that you're typing. None from you. Okay, amazing. Must have been very clear and concise. If any of you want to speak, you don't have to, you can type it, but I think you can put your hand up or just turn your mic on and you can talk. No. I'm just gonna wait because China did say yes, but maybe yes to no questions. If we wanted to maintain, how would, wait there, that's just gone. If we want to maintain, how would we know what calories would be? Again, I think speak specifically to your coach. So I know, Joe, I am your coach. I will talk to you about that specifically, but generally, again, it would be different because lots of you won't be, if you're in a deficit, you may be in a 500, a 200, a 300, a 600 deficit. That would be one that's personalized to what your current calories are. So I would talk to your coach about what that would look like. So, Joe, I will message you. Um, any advice on counting calories on things you have no clue how many calories there are? If the auntie is making cauliflower cheese, do I kind of just estimate? Yeah. So what I would do, again, generally, like when I'm eating out at a restaurant, you can never guess like that's 200 grams of cauliflower and what cheese they've used, kind of thing. I don't do this day to day, by the way, but for specific things like this, I would just go through my FitSpal. So I'd search cauliflower cheese, look through what the average is coming up. So some of them will come up as like 90 calories and some of them will be like 700 calories. Go for like the average plus a little bit. So like the high average. So you've got a little bit of a buffer if you are wanting to like count your calories still. I would guesstimate from the best amount. No, see, I wouldn't find the one with the least amount of calories because then it's probably inaccurate. It's kind of like, oh, I'm going to underestimate it. It's better to overestimate and leave yourself a little bit of wiggle room than it is to underestimate, if that does make sense. Yeah? Did that help? Thumbs up. Anyone else got any questions? No, I can't see all of your faces if you're nodding or not. Okay, if you're all good then. So, oh, just wanted to make sure I don't annoy Charlie on Christmas. That's hilarious. Yeah, of course, Amy. Yeah, so at the end of this, once you have watched back, if you're watching, message your coach with your main takeaways. Thank you. Your main takeaways and what you would like your strategy to be based off of that, what you think is going to be best for you. And then I think your coach will be sending over the 1 to 31 list that you can mark off what days in December. Probably, I'm going to do like an emoji code. I haven't thought about it thoroughly yet, but I'm glad that helped. Go message your coach and enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you so much, guys.